Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo. Then we can be assured that other nations will not treat America with respect, the respect that we deserve.
What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American Politics, back in with a new video. And today, we're going to be doing our first deep dive of multiple races in 2 states today. I know. We have been talking a lot about Senate races, governorships, all of that. But we really haven't been talking about House races, some of the governorships. Heck, some statewide races like, state treasurer. We've really been talking mostly about the Senate and most governorships. Today, we're going to be talking about many candidates, not only for one governorship, but also for one of the Senate races, one of the state treasurer races, and 6 different Congress races in these 2 states. I'm, of course, talking about Indiana and Ohio. As everybody knows, later next month, or early next month, I should say, these 2 states really kick off the primary season. They have a lot of big races. If you live in these 2 states, the great states of Indiana and Ohio, get out and vote. And I do recommend, if you live in these districts or live in these states, you vote in support these candidates I am officially endorsing today. And I do think people need to understand, some of these candidates, they're not the perfect candidate that we would want, like a Joe Kent type. But most of these candidates are significant upgrades. And I personally believe they'd be a great fit for making the Republican Party great again. I know it's funny terminology for that. But before I forget, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes, of course, go follow that mysterious Twitter account description down below. And yeah, go follow alt text stuff, and okay, no more promotion stuff today. Let's get right into it. I have many endorsements, many, races everybody should be looking at later in, I guess we say early part of May. I think it's May 3rd is the primary election. So we're going to start in Indiana, in Indiana's first. This is a district where Republicans effed up redistricting. And again, I know what they were trying to do, like, okay, we're going to try to shore up, Indiana's 5th, I think it was. Yes, they were trying to shore up the Indianapolis area. And I understand that. But still, they could have made Indiana first significantly more Republican. They didn't. These people are weak. However, this is a part of Indiana that has been constantly trending Republican year after year after year. This is where Gary, Indiana is. And again, if I had to choose one city in America I would never visit, Gary, Indiana, I'm sorry. Your working class area, but just don't stop there. It's not a good city. It's been run down to shit. But again, there is a candidate I do officially endorse for the United States Congress in Indiana's first who will finally, break through and finally win a race in this district. I'm, of course, talking about Jennifer Ruth Green. And some of her issues seems a bit, traditional Republican, like fiscal responsibility, free market economy. Again, you know me on some issues. I may cringe at this, but again, you read the rest of her platform, it is good stuff. I mean, greater employment opportunities, like, hey, we need a good job market. We need to protect American jobs. National security, that actually means national security. It is a good platform. She is a great story. I mean, she's a veteran after all. And I think everybody should vote or support Ruth Green, as I personally think she's the only one in this race that has a serious shot of winning an D+7 seat. And again, 538 with their lean margins, a bit off, but even so, this is a district I do think Ruth Green could seriously have a chance of winning. And even if she doesn't win, if she makes great inroads with certain communities in this area, I personally think in 2024, Mervyn is going to retire. I mean, this district is gone in a couple years. But for now, I endorse Ruth Green for the United States Congress in Indiana's first. Now, the second district in Indiana we're talking about is a safe Republican seat. It's not held by a Democrat or anything like that. It is, however, a very interesting primary. I'm going to talk about Indiana's 9th. As many of you know, the Rhino Hollingsworth is dead. I mean, I think he, retired, I think it was. He's not even running, he's done. And we need a candidate in this district that I think could represent the values of this district. And the closest one to this is Erin Huchin. Now, again, she is very conservative on the social issues. I mean, she was rated one of the most conservative people in the state senate of Indiana. But again, there is some parts that she may be questionable, like on some economic issues. But still, she's good on some issues as well, like, hey, expanded broadband access, fighting against these garbage tax increases, which again, talking about taxes is kind of cringe, but sometimes it does matter. And I'm glad that we do have one candidate that's actually conservative on social issues. While I may disagree some parts of economics, she's still the most conservative person in this district, and I fully endorse her. Hopefully she wins. I think she'll win. Either way, Republicans will win this seat. Now, we got one more race we got to talk about in Indiana. It's not, a district. It's not, a governorship. It's not a Senate race, anything like that. It is, however, a different statewide race. We don't talk about this a lot, but this is a critical race in a lot of states. I'm, of course, talking with the state treasurer, and in a lot of states, that is a very powerful position. And I firmly have an endorsement in this race. I firmly believe that Elsa Neshala, I think that's how you say her last name. Again, if I butcher her name, I'm very sorry, is the best person for state treasurer. She was endorsed by several America First congressmen, and she actually has a great issues page. I mean, look at this. First thing, aligning investments with American values. This alone should tell you, okay, it's not some traditional boomer con. It's somebody that actually wants to put the American worker and the American first. And she actually has a great platform, and I officially endorse her to become the next state treasurer of the great state of Indiana. I'm pretty sure they do a convention for this race. Again, for this race, it's not a primary, I don't think. Again, it's with some of these states, they get a bit weird. But I officially endorse her. I recommend people support her. And yeah. So we have the 3 races in Indiana done again. 2 congressional races in Jen Ruth Green and Erin Huchin. And for state treasurer, I officially endorse Elsa Neshala. I think that's how you say her name. Again, some of these names get very screwy. And also, I will link all these websites in the description down below. I recommend you support these people, but that's just Indiana. We got to get into the state of Ohio, which has had a very unique experience when it has come to redistricting. I mean, we went from this map to this map, a bit more Republican in some areas, a bit more nicer, but still there are some races in Ohio we must talk about. We, of course, got to start in Ohio 7th. Again, the Rhino neocon Anthony Gonzalez retired. Thank God. And we do have a candidate in this race I endorse, Max Miller. Now, again, Max Miller I don't think will be a pure America First type of candidate. I think that he'll be a good candidate in the House, just not, Joe Kent levels. He'll be something closer like, Mike Gallagher, who's good, but I wouldn't say he's necessarily the best in the House. Again, still pretty good, just, wish he was a little better, a little bit better on some issues, but again, he is probably the best, conservative we can get in this race. And on the issues, he has the closest to America First values, just not as much as, somebody like a Josh Hawley type in the center, something like that. He's not there yet, but he could potentially be. Now, that's Ohio 7th. This is a race that, again, is quite obvious. I mean, Republicans are going to win this race. And there is another endorsement I have, but it's not for, somebody challenging an incumbent. It's nothing like that. It is, in fact, for an incumbent. It's in Ohio's 8th. One of the best congressmen in the country, Warren Davidson. Now, if you want somebody that's a Chad on the issues, who's great on the issues, who actually will put Americans first, this is the guy. I mean, he actually wants to reduce not only illegal immigration, but also legal immigration. That's essentially the same thing. He talks about issues that matter to people, has one of the best voting records in the House. And again, I recommend people support him. Again, he may be running for the Senate in 2024. So I recommend people support him. He's currently the best congressman in the entire House, in my opinion. Again, there's some other ones like Paul Gosar that's up there too. But overall, I think that Warren Davidson, on the issues, I think overall is the best and will be great senator in 2024. Now we have another interesting district in Ohio's 9th. This used to be for years a Democrat stronghold. Well, the Republicans in Ohio finally, redistricted this district and made it a bit cleaner, but also a bit more Republican. And the thing with this district is it's a blue-collar, working-class part of the state of Ohio. Well, there's only one candidate I think that fits this district perfectly. J.R. Majowski. Now, this guy, in my opinion, will be one of the best candidates, one of the most underrated candidates in 2022. This guy actually has a great issues page. Again, yeah, there's some traditional talking points like energy independence, but eradicating the establishment. I like when Republicans say those stuff, but also support the use of E-Verify, end chain migration. This is good stuff. Actually fight big tech, fix education. This guy has one of the best issues pages and maybe one of the best congressmen going into 2023 when he gets elected. And I recommend everybody supports J.R. Majowski. In the description down below, his website will be linked. I recommend you fully read his issues page, and he's going to win. This is a working class part of Ohio. These people work. And when you see some of his campaign ads, you could tell he's somebody that grew up in this part of Ohio. But there is one more House race we do got to discuss that. This is one that I do endorse the candidate. Not because I think she's the greatest candidate. I think she's okay, but she's not necessarily the greatest. However, the alternatives in Ohio 13 is garbage. So much so, I'm going to have to be endorsing Madison Giusetto Gilbert. Giseldo. I don't know how you say her name. Again, what's up with a lot of these strange names? Again, I always butcher these names, but they get some weird pronunciation. Madison Gisello, whatever. Point is this. She is good on the issues. Would I say she's phenomenal? I wouldn't say that. However, she actually has some decent points. Like, you make made in America policies, stop garbage trade deals, that are like, oh, free trade. That's great. Even, unrestricted trade in China's great. She's against this crap. She represents this district on some of these issues. Now, there's some parts of this platform that it's like, why is this a pillar of your platform? Anyways, point is this. I do endorse her, Gilbert. I'm just going to call her Madison Gilbert for Ohio 13th. I think she'll do great. She's actually going to fight for manufacturing jobs, which again, that alone makes me support a candidate if they support, restricted immigration and actually fighting for manufacturing jobs, which she's promising to do. Now in Ohio, we do got two more statewide races to discuss. And I'm going to show you this poll here. This is why I firmly believe we need to collude, or not really collude, we must unite behind one candidate in the Ohio Republican primary to defeat DeWine. And I'm sorry, Joe, but you're a bit too schizo, in my opinion. Again, he has some decent issues, but I believe personally we must unite behind Jim Rinceni, become the next governor of the great state of Ohio. He has had a great voting record when he was in the House, and his issues page is solid. I firmly think he's going to be a massive, absolutely huge upgrade as the governorship, in the governor's mansion. He's going to be great, and I firmly believe he will be one of the better governors in the country if we elect him. Again, with Trump all but, saying he's going to endorse somebody in this race, it most likely will be Rossetti, Jim, and I personally think if we support him, we can defeat the loser known as DeWine. Again, go support him, but also, there is one more statewide race we must discuss. This one, I did talk about yesterday. I'm, of course, talking about the Ohio primary for the United States Senate. We finally have a new poll. There's really two candidates. Josh Mandel, cringe. But the Giga Chad himself, who's won many people over on the right for months now, J.D. Vance. Look, Blake Masters is the best Senate candidate in 2022. Vance is a close second. Very, very close. He's going to actually fight for American manufacturing jobs. He's going to reduce not only illegal immigration, but legal immigration, which is a scam. Legal immigration does practically the same thing as illegal immigration. It's, they come through a legal process. Who cares? It's the same thing. And overall, J.D. Vance has been talking about the issues that matter, not just tax cuts, but talking about protecting our values, restore American manufacturing, dismantle big tech, end abortion, and fight for a good immigration system that puts the American first. And you look at this, with Trump's endorsement, 55% of old GOP voters are much more likely to support the candidate Trump endorsed. And it's all but a certain that J.D. Vance is going to get this endorsement. So if you live in Ohio or close to Ohio or whatever, vote for J.D. Vance. Vote for all these candidates. It's time that we have an America First wave in a populous-esque state like Ohio. Again, this is one of the most blue-collar states in the country. There's no reason Josh Mandel should be a senator. J.D. Vance will be your next senator of the great state of Ohio if you get out and vote and you get out and support him. Anyways, that is the many candidates I officially endorse in the Indiana and Ohio primaries coming up next month. That's in total 6 from Ohio and 3 from Indiana, so 9 in total. Again, support every single one of these candidates. Donate, vote for them, whatever. Just get out and support these 9 candidates. It's time we take back our country from an establishment that has been screwing us over for years. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.